That's what I watched the final against Barcelona and Wembley. I should have changed at half-time and put Jason Park and Messi. That was a mistake. If I had played Jason Park against Messi, I think we'd have beaten him. I really do.
Hi, it's Gary Neville here, and we'll be putting the Sport Bible audience's questions to the boss ahead of the release of his new film, Sir Alex Ferguson, Never Give In. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm ready.
First question. Who is the one player you wish you'd managed that you never did?
Paul Gascoigne, without question. I think he was the best English player since Bobby Charlton. I think he was a fantastic player. Unfortunately, we didn't get him. And I think, looking back now, he made a big mistake. He recognised himself years later. But we had Geordies in the camp. We had Bobby Charlton, Brian Robson, Steve Bruce, even Gary Pallister from Middlesbrough. We had people there that would have taken care of him, you know, particularly Brian Robson, who was fantastic with players, as you know. So he goes to an island in London, you know, and you're easily swallowed up there for a young lad. And I think that was a big mistake by him. I think he was a marvellous player. I loved his strength and his... We played at Newcastle up there, and it was Easter Monday, I think, and he'd just come back from injury. They were near the bottom of the league. And as soon as they come back, they started winning games. And I went there, we playing three in the middle of the pitch. Whiteside, Robson and Remy Moses, you know, right?
Some midfield.
He destroyed them, honestly. And then he nutmegged Remy Moses right in front of the dugout and patted him on the head. And I'm jumping out the box, I'm going, fuck. Honestly, he was unbelievable. And I said to Martin Edwards coming back in the bus, sign this boy. Get on the phone to them Monday. And by that time, they'd already done a deal with Tottenham, which is really unfortunate. I was a disappointment because he agreed to sign, and then Tottenham changed his mind by buying his mother and father a house.
You weren't up for buying the mother and father a house?
Well, Martin Edwards was not that type.
Is there anyone from the current game, Sir Alex, who you wish you'd bought? Anyone who's been playing in the last 20 years that you thought, oh, I'd love to have managed them?
Well, I think Kane. I thought Delali was going to be a top player. I must admit, I don't know what's happened there, but Kane's still been, and the boy Son at Tottenham. These are excellent players. Aguero has been a terrific striker. There's no doubt about that. His goal scoring has been exceptional. And I think that the top teams will always produce a player that can stand out, and I think that those two in particular.
Excluding Old Trafford, which ground had the best atmosphere you've ever experienced? One in England and one in Europe.
Hampden Park, without doubt, when it's 140,000, 136,000. I played in front of under 36,000 and went to see the Scotland-England games. Oh, electric. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. And Anfield electric. I mean, you've been there, you know what it's like, bloody hell. It's marvellous atmosphere.
To win?
Yeah, but you had to expect that atmosphere to be there, even if you're losing. I mean,
you never felt safe there, did you?
Never, no, never really.
I mean, literally.
Yeah, no, it was a really volatile atmosphere, yeah.
I remember once you left me out at Anfield and you said, Gary, I'm not putting you on the bench. I went, how can you not put me on the bench? I've started every week. He said, I can't have you warming up in front of that lot. Do you remember that? Left me back in the hotel.
Yeah. Did I listen you?
Who's the most underrated player that you managed?
There's three players. I can't split them. Brian McClare, Jason Park, and Ronnie Johnson.
It's interesting because when I mean, obviously I played with Brian at the end of his career, but with G and with Ronnie, if there was a problem in a game, they would almost be like they'd fix your problem for you, wouldn't they? So Jason Park would go and sit on Pirlo and man mark him, or Ronnie would play in midfield away in a Champions League quarter-final where there was a Zidane there, or there was a... they were the players that you sort of trusted to do the job for you, to man mark. If you did man mark a couple of times.
That's what I watched the final against Barcelona and Wembley. I should have changed at half-time and put Jason Park and Messi. That was a mistake. I realised after 10 minutes, I was going to do it at half-time, and I'll say, well, we'll just equalise before half-time. They may see the game differently, and we may grow into the game better. We were actually quite good in the last 10 minutes of that game. You know, we come into it and we could have been in front actually. But if I had played Jason Park against Messi, I think we'd have beaten him. I really do. Messi, 2 highlights. I mean, a fantastic goal he scored, and he made the other one. You know, he was a great player. But if it was a player we were going to do it, it was Jason Park.
If you had to pick one striker that you've worked with to start every week, who would that striker be? So it's a striker to save your life.
I couldn't do it, honestly.
You have to.
I couldn't.
This is Lad Bible. You can't bottle it.
I'll give you a statistic, and this is a test for you. I had 17 strikers in my time at United, all internationals. Name them.
Me? How have you got out a bottle of the question and turned it on me?
Well, that's for your bed at night time. That'll keep you awake.
I'll do the 17. In fact, we'll put it to the Lad Bible audience. So you're not going to pick a striker for me?
No.
A penalty then? A penalty? You've got a penalty for your last minute, your last ever game. Who's taking it out of all them 17 strikers?
Van Nistelrooy or Cantona or Irwin. One of them are depending. Irwin took great penalties, you know, he did.
Yeah.
I think we missed one and scored the rebound. Cantona missed one, I think. I don't think Van Nistelrooy missed any.
I don't know.
He was deadly.
Well, Arsenal, Keown jumping up and down in front of him. Keown's jumping up and
Oh,
down
he
in front
did,
of him.
That idiot, aye.
You like Martin Keown?
Cancel
I
that
hope
down.
that makes the cut.
Cancel that out. He's a nice boy.
He liked that line, actually. I think he would gain some... He would take that as a compliment, Martin, knowing him. Which young managers currently working in the Premier League do you highly rate?
Young managers?
Yeah.
Oof.
You can go managers if you want.
Well, I mean, I think to my mind, the 2 exceptional managers are Klopp and Guardiola, without doubt. And I've watched them working, and I've actually been partly responsible with their next moves, you know, because I met them.
It's not your fault, is it?
No. When Klopp met me in Switzerland and asked for advice about moving to England, and I says, pick the best team. Pick a team with expectation. And I didn't, at that time I wasn't retiring. Yeah. And the same with Guardiola, I met him in New York, we had dinner together. I says, keep me in touch with what your next move is. And he went to City, you know. But these 2 are exceptional managers. On young managers, Eddie Howe had a great period at Bournemouth for a young manager. And I think he did very well, even though he's relegated, it doesn't mean to say he's not a good manager. I think he is a good manager. And I think the boy Parker at Fulham has done a great job, because I've watched them a lot and they keep playing the football. They don't change. Don't panic. They keep to the beliefs of their manager. And I think that's a great indication of how good he is.
Which player that you managed achieved more than you thought they would?
I think you're one. I do.
You thought it was really bad then, didn't you?
And I thought Steve Bruce was amazing. That if you look at his physical being, he was not exactly over 6 foot, but he attacked every ball that he had to. And I think that Steve would be one that I thought did really well.
It's interesting, that first couple of years of Cristiano when he was frustrating, did you always think that he would get to the level that he did?
Oh, absolutely. Well, his first game against us in Sporting Lisbon, you took the day off that day. And
rested.
And John O'Shea had to play right back. He was amazing, the kid. He was only 17, he's come up for 18, of course, but he was amazing. But, you know, we had all that prepared to bring him to the club. But it was going to be the next year, that was the arrangement. Yeah. And Carlos Queiroz organised it with the Sporting Lisbon people. But then he came into the first team, and he's a sensation. And immediately, Real Madrid, Arsenal were all hovering, and we had to move quickly. Unfortunately, got me in a little room after the game, said to him, I want to come back in the plane with us. He's no, I want to see my mother.
That's kidnapping, it?
Could be. And the next day we got a private plane, brought him and his mother and his sister and his brother and his lawyer over, and they signed.
Right, next question. Which young player in world football do you rate the highest?
Young footballer
Yeah.
in the world. Oof. Mason Greenwood, in my opinion, is going to be a top player. He's got the coolness and coldness of a great striker. He never panics. His shots are always low. He's always inside the post, and I think that's shown great qualities. He's young. He's younger than the boy Foden. I think he's 21. I think he is, and he is the one player that's come through at City is now taking the place of Silva, and he's been tremendous. Yeah, those two in England are the best. Yeah.
I'm going to ask him for his thoughts on the Lad Bible first.
Hopefully, what the hell's Lad Bible?
Did you get that? What the hell's Lad Bible?
40 million on Facebook.
40 million on Facebook. 40 million.
I'm not sure what's
40 million.
Honestly, boss, these things are off the scale. Think of it as.
I know Ronaldo's got something like 25.
No, Ronaldo's 80.
He's beating us. He's beating us. Yeah.
Hi, it's Gary Neville, and the boss is going to be taking. He'll be answering. Jesus. More frustrating watching me as a presenter than it was as a player. It's like.
You did cause me some embarrassing moments.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Well done.
Good, well done, boss.
Thanks, Sam.
Oh, goal of the year. Goal of the year. The person that scored the goal, he had an argument with the goalkeeper before the game. That was a great own goal.
Have you ever done anything like that?
Not yet. Not yet, and I hope I won't.